Hello, hello, hello. How is everyone? I am here and get to go live with you again today. So excited. For those of you that are new to me, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Amy of aimeeraupp.com. I should put this up here. That shelf looks quite empty. Hi. I know I'm a few minutes late. I apologize. I had my office hours in my private Yes You Can Get Pregnant e-course group, and there were a lot of questions today. There goes that book. And yeah, so I ran over because that community is very important to me, and I want everyone to feel seen and heard. And yeah, lots of questions today. So now we're going to get into, we haven't had a book club in a while, but we are doing our book club again this week. And for those of you that are new to me, I'm Amy Raupp. I'm the author of this best-selling fertility book, and also this one that fell on the floor, The Egg Quality Diet, which we'll eventually do book club with this one. But this book came out in 2014 and has been helping women conceive and get pregnant all over the world for many years. So I'm very honored to share that with you. And I myself have been a clinician practicing acupuncture, Chinese medicine. I have a biology and chemistry degree as well. I study functional medicine, but I've been seeing patients in my clinic, helping them optimize their health and their fertility for just about 20 years. And it really is important to me that when you seek out guidance and support from somebody, especially somebody online, or even someone that you're paying to see, in person, when it comes to health-related conditions, they should be a health practitioner, not just a coach. And I have a lot of coaches in my life that I love and respect, and they've, the ones that I work closely with have studied with functional medicine doctors. They themselves have either a nursing degree or degree from, a certain institution that gives them medical background, but really be particular about who you take advice from, and make sure, in my opinion, that they've been a practicing clinician for several years so that they can help you the most. Because I'll tell you this, textbooks and school teaches you some of the things and the basics, but when you are a clinician, and at one point in my career, I was seeing 60 patients a week. When you see that volume of patients, you learn a ton about what is helpful and what is not. And, your patients teach you so much. And so I am fortunate enough to be able to have had a 2 decades long of experience and continue to always grow and learn and research. And I get to bring that to all of you guys. So I just stress that so much, that you should be working with a clinician. It doesn't have to be me, but also, just so you know, all of my coaches are clinicians. They are practicing in clinics, seeing patients in real time, continuing education, have actual medical degrees. And it's super important. And we also have a team psychologist now, and she is a psychotherapist, has been practicing for 8 years, is finishing up her doctorate. So we take the mindset piece, the trauma piece, the medical piece extremely seriously at Team Amy. Anyway, without further ado, we are going to get into our book club. It is chapter 8 this week, and this is basically putting it all together. So if you haven't caught the previous episodes, or you don't have a copy of this book, I recommend getting a copy of Yes You Can Get Pregnant, and then maybe reading through it, catching up, getting up to chapter 8, and then coming and watching this video. But basically, I'm giving you a lot of information throughout the book. There is a whole fertility rejuvenation plan that is mapped out in this book. Everything from the mindset to becoming one with nature, to eating for optimal nutrition and egg quality, steering clear of environmental toxins, mindset work again, because it's that important. And then I give you a chapter 8 where it's a 7-day plan of putting it all together. What I love about this chapter is I really kind of give you the breakdown of, like, these are the most important things that you need to be doing for optimal health and fertility. And remembering that fertility is an extension of health. Health is mental, it's emotional, it's physical, it's nutritional, right? So Top 10 things to do every single day. Don't miss them. But I will say, with a big asterisk next to that, perfection does not equal pregnancy. You are a human, not a robot. I did not get the best night's sleep tonight. I am not thinking that my fertility is forever crushed because of that, and nor should you, okay? It's consistency and frequency. If, I tend to say with the mindset stuff, if you can 60 to 70% of the time be there in that receiving, optimistic, hopeful place, but allow yourself and give yourself grace and compassion when you're not. And then from the lifestyle and diet perspective, I think 80 to 90% of the time, we should be nailing it. So keep this in mind when I read these 10 things. Get 7 to 8 hours every night of sleep, uninterrupted sleep. Eat within the first 30 minutes of waking, and eat every 2 to 3 hours. After that, every meal should contain protein. Your goal is upwards of 80 grams of protein a day. Macronutrients are 40% fat, 30 to 35% protein, 25 to 30% carbohydrates. Meditate, mindful daydream, and do your mantras. Again, if you've read Yes, You Can Get Pregnant, you know all about that. There's a Child's Palace mantra. There is just reminding yourself, I have the power to change my health and improve my fertility. But do one of those at some point every day. I don't always have time every day for meditation, but I might mindful daydream for a few minutes in the morning. Or maybe I just repeat my mantras at some point. A lot of my clients will have the mantras kind of taped to their computer screen, so it helps them kind of remember and be present to what their vision is, what they want their focus to be on. A lot of us get caught on focusing what we don't want versus what we do want. So I think bringing yourself back home to what's in your heart, what your desires are, doing that some way, some fashion every day is really important. Sometimes for me, it's a walk outside. Sometimes earlier today, I had a call, I had morning calls and I had a little break, and I went and I laid down and just closed my eyes, and I set the timer on my phone for 15 minutes. And I didn't necessarily meditate, but I just kind of rested and came back home to me instead of sitting in front of my computer and answering emails. It was like I needed that time for myself, right? Sometimes it's my exercise is my time for myself. So taking time for you and what I would say to come back home to you. So getting out of your head and in the hamster wheel of like all the things that are you doing right, are you doing wrong, and coming back home to your heart. Exercise. Maintain a healthy, fertile BMI. I do think, and what I've seen clinically and what the research shows us is a BMI around 22, 23, 24, even 25 is a fertile BMI. Pretty much lower than 22, I don't see as much success. Estrogen is stored in fat cells. Estrogen is a key hormone for fertility, for egg development, for all the things. And if your BMI is too low, especially, you're going to be low in estrogen, and that will and can impact your fertility. Lights out an hour before bed, meaning all electronics are off. I don't always do this. I enjoy a show with my husband at night. A lot of times, maybe it's 30 minutes before bedtime, but we do have our blue light glasses on, and we are trying to, we don't have screens in the bedroom. We don't bring our phones up to the bedroom. We only have one alarm clock, and it's battery operated. That stuff is really important. I don't know that you have to go at lengths and like turn off your Wi-Fi, but I do think if you are having screen time at night, try to end it at least a half hour, ideally an hour before bedtime. And if you can't, that you're wearing your blue light glasses and you're just being super conscious of that time. Like for me, I guess I justify it because it's special time with my husband. It's something we're both invested in. We enjoy our shows. I think everybody can say the same. And then we kind of have our little bedtime ritual before we actually fall asleep. And so we get that space for ourselves, right? Have hot sex. Ideally, I say 4 to 5 nights a week. I think that's not always ideal for everyone, but at least 1 to 2 times a week, every single week is really important. Don't just have honey, I'm ovulating sex. It makes, it takes the fun out of it, and it puts a lot of pressure on the relationship. So And especially people will say, well, I have a low libido. I'm not that into sex anymore. You know, I've been so crushed by this fertility experience. And I would say, well, then start making dates to have sex. And you got to get back into the rhythm of it. You gotta tap back into it and you'll awaken it. And try to have fun with it. And you'll see too, the sex around the non-fertile times, you might be more freer and have more fun. And that will bring your intimacy closer. And then the sex around the fertile times, maybe you'll be more focused on the fun, hot sex and less on the baby making part of it and remembering that babies are made out of love. And another thing that's really important that I didn't address in here, but I kind of I talk about it in the book for certain, but orgasms at least once a week are really important to hormonal balance, especially for women. So that is something to, I think, really make sure you're doing. Okay. Keep your child's palace warm. So I have tips in the chapter 4 on getting back in touch with nature about how to keep your child's palace warm. Do not sit too much or too often on cold or wet floors or chairs. Keep warm in the feet, stomach, and back areas. Wear clothes that cover your navel and back. Wear socks in the cold weather. Especially do not swim during your menstrual period. Dry your hair after showering before going out. Try not to drink cold drinks, including water, or eat frozen food, especially during your period. And avoid fertility reducing environmental toxins and endocrine disrupting chemicals. I have plenty of videos on this. You too can go back. You can also go back to the book club, the chapter where I go over all of that. Take your supplements every day and follow the Yes You Can Get Pregnant diet. So I have the Yes You Can Get Pregnant diet. I have the egg quality diet, which is a little more aggressive, but is my newest book and is slightly different than this. More research-based. There's just more research that's been coming out around nutrition and antioxidants and macronutrients for fertility and gut health and autoimmunity. And so if you have been struggling to get pregnant for quite some time, I think this is a good starting point, but I think this is a bit more aggressive and will help you figure out the exact right diet for your health, not just a blanket fertility diet. But definitely same things apply. No to gluten, sugar, soy, artificial sweeteners, genetically modified foods, pesticides, and say yes to animal protein, vegetables, and fat and fruit. Your diet should really just consist of those. I do see a lot of success with completely removing grains from diets as well, and getting your carbs from carbohydrate-rich foods. Okay, and so I have diet quick tips. I recommend 8 to 10 eggs a week, 4 to 6 servings of meat a week, grass-fed only. Fish, 6 to 10 servings. Liver, 3 to 4 ounces a week. Chicken, 1 to 2 servings. Full-fat dairy, if you can tolerate it, which most people can't, but if you can, has to be full-fat, has to be organic, and it's only a couple ounces a couple times a week. Butter or ghee, 4 tablespoons. Bone broth every day. Fish roe, fermented foods. Vegetables, upwards of 5 to 8 servings. Fruits, 1 to 2. Limit high sugared fruits. Healthy oils and fats. And so then in this chapter, I go through, I'm not going to read all of these days because that'll get really boring and redundant, but I go through basically from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. of like what a day in the life will look like on a Yes You Can Get Pregnant lifestyle. 7 a.m., wake up feeling refreshed and grateful for a great night's sleep. 7 to 7:03, so 3 minutes. That's all I'm telling you, 3 minutes. Say your child's palace mantra to yourself. Dear uterus, you are the palace of my child, and I believe in you. I send you love and joy. You are a beautiful palace, brimming with fertility, and I fully believe in your ability to get and to stay pregnant. Then spend 2 minutes in a mindful daydream about how exciting it is going to be a mother. Or it could even just be excitement in your life. And maybe the pressure of thinking about getting pregnant or being a mother might be too much for you. So just spending a few minutes in gratitude and appreciation. And if you can get there, excitement for what is coming down the pipeline for you. 7:05 a.m., take your probiotics. 7:30, so usually take probiotics on an empty stomach. If you take a thyroid medication like I do, I try to take that right when I get out of bed so that, 45 minutes later, I'm basically getting my first meal in, which my doctor says is perfectly safe. You don't have to wait a whole hour. 45 minutes is enough time. But again, speak to your medical practitioner about that. Breakfast. So here's an example, 2 scrambled eggs with spinach and basil and a slice of gluten-free bread. After you finish breakfast, take the rest of your supplements. Now, again, what I said about grains and the egg quality diet, I do see, especially women who have had challenges for quite some time, they do much better off of all grains. And so that means no gluten-free bread. But in place of that, you could do sweet potato toast, which is one of my favorites. And you could do bread, gluten-free toast, or the like a couple times a week. 7:50, take a 5-minute chill out break. Practice sending love to your child's palace with Qigong exercises that are in this book. 7:55, just before you leave your house, take a quick look in the mirror, look into your eyes and say, I have the power to change my health and improve my fertility. Or what about, you're a pretty awesome human, I like you. Or what about, I'm proud of how you show up for yourself every day. Or what about, I'm learning to love you more. Thanks for your patience. I'm coming back home to you. I like you. Today I like you. Simple kindness. 10 a.m., have a snack, some blueberries mixed with gelatin or collagen peptides and some coconut yogurt or regular yogurt, Greek yogurt, full fat if you can do dairy. If you have an autoimmune condition, I strongly recommend no dairy. Be sure to check the sugar content. Don't use one with added sugars. 11:30, get outside for 5 to 10 minutes, soak in some sunshine, even if it's cold out. Between 10 to 1, we ideally want 20 minutes of unprotected sunlight every single day. It is so critical for hormones. Vitamin D is not a vitamin, it is a hormone. If we don't get enough vitamin D, our hormones will suffer. You need to get your vitamin D levels checked. They should be above a 50, between a 50 and a 70 or an 80 is ideal. Lunch, here's mesclun greens topped with wild salmon or sardines, onions, olives, fermented veggies, olive oil, vinegar, delicious. I do lunch like this regularly. Take a moment at 12:45, one with nature, mental scan of your body, tune into how you're feeling. Are you tense? So that's it too. If you'll notice, like throughout the day, I'm carving in these check-ins with yourself, coming back home rather than spinning in your brain of all the things and doing all the things and all the things and all the things. Fertility comes from your body feeling safe. If you are not getting pregnant, it is your body's way of saying something is in the way. I don't feel like I have enough resources. I don't have enough goods to create vitality. 3 p.m., have a snack, a grapefruit, some nuts, there's all sorts of things, some bone broth with an egg. Dinner, baked chicken breast with fresh herbs, olive oil, sauteed kale with garlic, and a sweet potato with some ghee. Eat with a friend or partner, share the best part of your day. 7 p.m., another mental tune-in. 9:30, have a little bone broth or some protein to make sure your blood sugar stays even throughout the night. Just a little tiny nibble. And then 10 p.m., lights out, meaning all electronics off, start getting ready for bed, spend time in your bedroom, journaling about 5 things that brought you joy today. Say your mantra, think positive thoughts, spend intimate time with your partner, cuddling, or having hot sex. At 11 p.m., get to bed. Just discovered you a few minutes ago. I'm so excited. I'm trying for a baby at 40. Oh, I love it. Well, thank you. So you can get your copy of the book because in here it's nice. There's a 7-day meal plan as well, which I think is really nice for you. There's recipes laced throughout the book, and there you have it. And I would like to finish with, it's about choices that you make on a regular basis to support yourself. So I want this whole process to be less about I have to do these things to get pregnant and more about I'm learning how to best nourish and support my body. I'm discovering what my body needs. I'm coming back home to my body to listen to it and understand how I can better be aligned with it, how we can be a productive team together to create a feeling of safety and vitality so that my body may thrive, my fertility may thrive, and I can get this baby in my belly and take it home. Okay, so if you haven't already, go get this book. And I also recommend my latest book, Egg Quality Diet. The two of them combined are a full arsenal of what you need to do to optimize your health and fertility ASAP. Watch all my videos, cruise around my Instagram, my Facebook, my YouTube. I got tons and tons and tons of free content for all of you. If you want to work with me or one of my coaches who, as I said, are trained medical clinicians, go to my website, aimeeraupp.com. Okay, guys, I will see you next week. I have to hop. Have a beautiful, beautiful day. Thank you so much. Ciao for now, guys. Welcome to all the newbies.